Hey y'all. Uh yeah, two videos real close together. I hope you're all doing well today. Um this is just something I wanted to get on here and talk about with you because I know a lot of people, especially the older people like me, we have to take a lot of prescription medicine. And I have had so many mishaps with my kids when they were little, my husband now, and myself. I had three incidences that I can remember off the top of my head where the prescriptions were wrong. So the first one I went to, I won't mention the drugstore name, they might have a fit, but I went to a drugstore and actually it was a big store. And I was picking up my medicine for anxiety, I believe. And I've always been the type of person who looked at my medicine. If it was a different color or a different shape, I always called the pharmacist and said, hey, look, this medicine does not look like my medicine that I used to take. Did you switch manufacturers? And it's a good idea to do that because of the reasons that I'm going to tell you. Okay. One day, Bert took me to the store. He stayed outside. I ran in to get my medicine. This was a long, long time ago. And I came back out and I had not had any of my medicine left because everybody has a problem with giving out narcotic medicine, even if it's for anxiety or whatever, depression. So you have to basically run out and then you call them. If you can't call before the bottle says that they gave it to you the last month. So if they gave it to you on the 5th last month, you don't get it till the 5th this month, even if it's 31 days and you have to go without. So, and that's true. Now, if other people have different, things, that's good. Okay, anyway. So I came outside and I opened up the bag and I was going to take my medicine because usually in the morning I take one. Well, I looked at these pills and I was like, wait a minute, Bart, this don't look right. And so I looked at the bottle and it was a different name of medicine. So I immediately looked up the medicine. And it turned out at that time I was not diabetic at all. Nowhere near it. Didn't even take anything except for anxiety. So I looked up this medicine and it was a diabetic insulin type medicine. Now, if I didn't check my medicines the way that everybody needs to start doing, if you don't do it already, I don't know what could have happened to me. Now, my cousin been a diabetic for years and years, since she was 30 years old. When I told her about it, she said, you are so lucky you did not take that medicine. She said, it could have put you in a coma. I thought I was going to die. What do you mean it could put me in a coma? She said, yeah. She said, I always check my medicine. You need to start. So I should have known better because when one of my sons, he was 18 months old, and he was very sick with a high fever. And every time my kids got real sick or got fever that was past 101, they went to the hospital. So I had taken him to the hospital, and they gave me some medicine, and it was a big bottle. They told me he had asthma. Okay, so I couldn't figure out why asthma would give you a fever, but I figured maybe he had a cold with it. I didn't know, I was young at the time, in my late 20s, I think. So I went and picked up the medicine, came home, gave him the dose that it told me to give him, which I don't remember, and all of a sudden his eyes rolled back in his head and he started having a seizure. He was 18 months old. So I rushed him to the hospital, and I brought the medicine with me because I figured it had to be the medicine because I didn't give him an overdose or anything. Sure enough, they had given me an adult medication, an adult dose of the medication, and they had put that the right dose was on the bottle, but it was supposed to be a kid's dose and not the adult, mixture, if you will. From then on, except for this one, well, no, actually, from then on, I started looking at my medicines. I checked every medicine they gave my kids. Every time they handed a pill to them in the hospital or in the clinic, I wanted to know what it was for, what it would do, blah, blah, blah. And then I had to go home and look it up and make sure. It scared the hell out of me when my son got sick from the shit. He could have died. So anyway, recently we kind of had a little incident here with Bert's medication. And so I said, I'm going to get online because I know it can't just be me with these people, getting the wrong meds at times. Well, the first thing was that I called the nurse because they did not give Bert a medicine he needed only when he had a rash, okay? So, and he needed it. So, I had called them and told them they needed to refill this one medication because, he was broke out and this and that. Well, they sent that medication to a mail-in pharmacy instead of the local Walmart or Walgreens that it has on there. Send this prescription to Walgreens because you never know what's going to happen. So he had to have it like when he started, not, somewhere down the road. So anyway, to make a long story short, when I found out and his rash was getting worse, and I called the nurse back at the office, I said, look, I called Walgreens and they told me they don't have Bert's prescription. She said, okay, well, hold on. So she gets back on the phone. She said, well, I called it into Centerwell. I said, well, this is a medicine that needs to be taken intermittently. I said, and this should have been called into Walgreens, and it says so right on the chart, which it does, because I checked to make sure. I'm not going to, scream at anybody or act crazy with anybody until, they start acting stupid. Okay. But anyway, so she called in the prescription to Walgreens. We still hadn't gotten the prescription from Centerwell, which was our mail-in pharmacy, who's great, by the way. No, this is not a sponsored video. But anyway, he went and picked it up and he started taking it. Well, today I noticed he still had the rash, and usually after a few days of taking that medication, it's gone or it's going away, okay? Well, he's already been taking what it said on the bottle to take. On the bottle, it said take one twice a day for 3 days. That's it. And he's been taking that for a long time. Okay. They put on the bottle, take one a day, and there was like 100 pills in the bottle. Usually they only give him 6 pills. Yes, I would love it if they gave him 100 pills. That's great. He won't have to keep wondering whether he's going to have them, But they had the wrong dosage and prescription on there. If I wouldn't have been here with him, I don't know how long he would have took those, but I'm really attentive about crap like that because of what happened to my son when he was a baby. So we sat down and we were talking this morning. He was still taking the medicine. I was like, wait a minute. He said, well, the bottle says take one every day. He said, so, it don't say take one for 3 days, take one for 7 days, whatever. I said, you got to make sure that, your right prescription's on there. Don't assume your doctor, the nurse, or the pharmacy or whatever puts the right shit on there. You have to read it. And with Bert having beginning dementia, I can't depend on that anymore. Okay? So I have to look after him. That's my job. Okay? So anyway, make a long story short, he had been taking these for a week. Granted, I'm glad I found it. So I called the nurse over there, and she's not the nurse who I talked to order the medication. But I let her know what happened and everything. And now I don't know what to do because his rash is lasting longer because he didn't have the medication to begin with. And anyway, guys, my moral of my story for today is anybody, especially people with kids and seizures, and people with intermittent medicines, any medicine, y'all have to start picking up your medicine. Read the instructions on the bottle. If it's a new medicine, make sure that the pharmacist knows this is what's supposed to be on the bottle. This is what the doctor wrote, which unfortunately it is what the nurse wrote on Bert's medication. So, it's not the pharmacy's fault. But please, 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 I can't emphasize that enough. We have so much stupidity in this world as it is already, and then everybody's burnt out, everybody's too busy, we don't have enough doctors, you name it. So make sure, if you go pick up a prescription, even your normal one, if it looks different, if the pill is a different shape, if the pill is a different size, whatever, you got a different dose, call your doctor and make sure your doctor gave you a different dose and why she did. And if it's a different color pill, different size, different shape, call your pharmacist and ask them, did you change manufacturers on this medication? Because this is not, it don't look like the one I take. If he checks and he says yes, you're okay. But see, sometimes medications, different doses have different shapes, they have different colors, what have you. It is so important to make sure you get the right medicines. I don't know how to emphasize that enough as a lay person, because we as human beings, we think, okay, well, they're doctors and they're nurses, so they know what they're doing, and the pharmacist knows what he's doing. Bull, because let me tell you something, they get busy like we do. Some of them just do dumb mistakes, and I don't know. I'm not going to give them any more excuses. All I'm going to say is it's very important to get the right medication, the right dose medication, and the right dosage for the day. You have to know, do I take this for 3 days? Do I take this for 7, 10? Or is this an ongoing medication that I take every day like I do other medication? You have got to not be afraid to ask, because you just never know what could happen. And I just wanted to get on here. I said I have something I need to tell my buds, and so I'm telling y'all, be careful, because you can't be enough careful with pills. You really can't. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that. But as we get older too, in case you don't know, a doctor told me this. Your metabolism, because it slows down, sometimes you have to have that dosage changed, either lowered or higher, depending. So that is the reason you have to see the doctor. And you have to, get checked at the very least once a year. And I know several people who don't. I really do. And when I was 30 and I got cancer of the cervix. And when that happened, I thanked God that my mom taught me to at least get a physical once a year, every year, without fail. And that's all I taught my kids. And I hope they're all following it. I think they are. Who knows? But it's very, very important because, honestly, if I wouldn't have got the physical, I wouldn't be here making videos. Okay? I wouldn't be. So, I got my physical. They called me at work and told me they needed to see me right away. Did it scare me? Yeah, it did. And they wouldn't tell me nothing over the phone, so I knew it was not good. So, yes, that's just my opinion in this video. Do with it what you want, but make sure no matter who your pharmacy is, who your doctor is, who your nurse is, how good they've been, always check the medicines you are prescribed and know what you're supposed to be taking them for and how many times a day and for how long. That's the best advice I can give you guys. I love all you guys. My followers and my subscribers are just, they're good friends that most I've never met. But I want people to know. I'm even going to put this on my other channel because there is people on my RV Butterfly Reselling and Thrifting channel that do not watch this channel, I know. So I want them to know. So as soon as I upload this to you, it's going to them. If y'all enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please make sure that you tell your elderly friends, if you're watching your parents or whatever, make sure, and your kids, make sure that they have the right medicine, the right dose, the right time of day. I mean, it is so important, guys. Subscribe, hit the bell if you want to get all our videos. You might want to go check out some of our funny videos and stuff on the other channel, which is RV Butterfly at Reselling and Thrifting on YouTube. And what else? I will catch you guys later. I love you. Bye.